And here's what Musk says about AI. Listen.
You say, like, in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So.
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it because they like growing vegetables. That will be what work is like, optional. Now, between now and then, there's actually a lot of work to get to that point. Mm-hmm. I always recommend people read Ian Banks' culture books to get a sense for what a probable positive AI future is like. And interestingly, in those books, money is doesn't exist. It's kind of interesting. And my guess is, if you go out long enough, assuming there's a continued improvement in AI and robotics, which seems likely, the money will stop.
So that's Elon's prediction, and I have to object to basically all of that. And I mean, I like Elon Musk. He's the only billionaire really trying to do anything worthwhile with his fortune. Maybe not the only one, but he's one of a few. SpaceX, I love SpaceX. I love the fact that he gave us free speech on social media again. I said that Elon is one of the great men of history, and he is. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. There are a few people currently alive on the planet who will be remembered in the history books. Elon is one. Trump is obviously another. There's only a few of them. Most of us will be forgotten, but he's one of the few. On this AI stuff, I strenuously disagree. First of all, I don't see how AI could possibly create the utopia he's talking about. For one thing, AI is not going to make everybody's jobs obsolete all at once. It's going to wipe out whole industries. I believe that, but that's not going to happen at a time. That's not going to happen at a time when we're living in this utopia that Elon describes. So like when the customer service jobs go and the delivery jobs and the truck driver jobs, when all that stuff goes away, those are all going away. Almost certainly soon, like in the next 5 to 10 years. Well, that's millions of people out of work. And what happens to them? They're going to have their work taken away at a time when work is still very much necessary to survive. And I think that work is always going to be necessary to survive, even in a non-capitalist society, even pre-industrialization, even in a hunter-gatherer society. I mean, you could go back 5,000 years, and I think you could go forward 5,000 years, and work is necessary to survive because life requires resources to be maintained, and resources require work to obtain. That's simple. Someone has to do the work to provide the food, the shelter, the warmth in the winter, the clothes, and everything else, not to mention all the other things that are not necessary for survival, but still are necessary to make our lives enjoyable. That stuff comes from somewhere, and people have to do work to create those things. That stuff can only be obtained through work that someone has to do. The only way to live without work is to compel someone else to do it for you, which is slavery. Now, maybe Elon imagines a world, I assume this is what he's saying, is that it will be in a world where AI will do all that stuff for you. So now we're talking far off in the future. I mean, if you're talking about AI building houses and growing your food, now we're talking decades and decades in the future. Before that happens, if it happens, millions of people are going to be jobless and destitute. They're not going to make it to the utopia. That's the part Elon doesn't mention. But let's imagine this utopia. Let's pretend that it's 50 years in the future. Somehow we made it through the absolute hell that's going to be required to get to that point. And now AI does everything. Okay? Just does everything. And this would require, as he kind of mentions there at the end, like, in order for it to do everything, you need not just AI, but AI and robots. And you need to finally have like the sci-fi kind of robots that, can walk around and function just as people and have AI brains and whatever else. So we're far off in the future. Well, is that actually good? I mean, to live as a human being, utterly dependent in every way on soulless, mindless algorithms and machines for your survival, is that good? Is that a good life? I mean, a life where we don't have to do any work because we just have, because we're like infants, where we are infants and we never grow beyond the infancy stage, and we are totally dependent. We don't know how to do anything for ourselves. We are totally dependent on these machines that don't love us, don't care about us, don't even know that we exist, have no consciousness. Is that a good life? Is that in any way a good life? I mean, aren't you just now talking about the Matrix? But the Matrix is not supposed to be something that's a dystopia, not a utopia. This is the Matrix. I mean, we're all plugged into, we're all in these kind of robotic wombs. And so that's what he's describing. Does anyone watch the Matrix and think like, oh yeah, that's the world I want to live in? So I don't this to me is not a good thing. I had another thought about AI, sort of about AI. It's something I was thinking about yesterday. We talked about on Friendly Fire, we debated AI, and Ben is more on the side of embracing AI as a good thing. I'm more on the side of killing it with fire, so no surprise there. But he said something kind of offhand that we didn't get into at the time. He said one of the good things about AI is that it might extend our lifespans by 20 or 30 years. Elon Musk has talked about the same thing, that this is one of the advantages of AI is that's going to extend our lifespan because of the ability to diagnose and treat illness and that sort of thing. And maybe AI eventually be able to come up with cures for various different diseases. I don't know if that's true or not. I think it may very well be true. And yet there's something that always bothers me about this. Like, I look at that, I think, well, does that make AI worth it? And I say, no. I mean, even if I were to say, well, yeah, sure. Like even if I knew that in the near future it could extend our lifespans by 20 or 30 years, does that make it worth it? I say no. And there's something that always bothers me about this obsessive push to extend human lifespan. I'm in favor of extending that, don't get me wrong. But at another level, it's like, why? I mean, we live on average 85 years. If we could start living on average 105 years, what difference does that really make? I mean, we live now 20 years longer than our ancestors did. Does that extra 20 years really make us happier on average? Are we even doing anything with that time? And besides, even if you live to 100, your life is still going to be so short as to be almost non-existent on a cosmic scale. So the extra 20 years is nothing. I mean, your entire life is a blink of an eye. And so now you're adding another fraction of a blink of an eye on top of it. And here's what I'm getting at. So I'm all for curing diseases. Don't get me wrong. I'm all for that. I'm sure when I'm 85, I would prefer to live to 105, maybe. It also depends on what kind of health you're in. But here's the thought I have, which is only tangentially connected to AI, which is that, the thing that makes life difficult is impermanence. Life is short. Life is